Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for tuning in. You just tuned in with the Full Court Entertainment Show with your boy GQ Tuesday, Shondell as always, and my man Sheldon. Today we're gonna be starting off talking about big market versus small market, and we're gonna talk about what the small markets can do to what they can just do better to try to get big star player, marquee players, and superstars to come to their organizations. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Sheldon go ahead and start things off talking about this with everybody because honestly. I feel a certain way towards small markets versus the big markets. I really hate the outlook they go for. Go ahead, Shannon. What you got?
Well, before I start, CJ isn't here. He is celebrating his birthday. So happy birthday, CJ. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Enjoy your
Happy
weekend.
birthday.
We miss him. He'll be back next week. But for now, it's just going to be me and Shondell. But with the small markets, honestly, it's really hard for small markets to get like really good because they don't attract free agents. I've never seen a superstar free agent go there. Nobody goes to Oklahoma City. Nobody goes to Canada to the Toronto Raptors. Nobody goes to the Bucks. Nobody went to play with LeBron in his prime with the Cavs. Nobody went there. The only way they can get good is just by drafting. Is you basically gotta be lucky, honestly, because like the Jazz is really like, well, would you consider the Utah a big market, or is it just a
Uh,
city that is like,
it's really like it's a big market for basketball, but it's not like a big city. It's a small city. It's a small town place. It's great, strong fan base for the NBA, but it's boring. If you're not one of those outdoor, outside nature type people, that's what's gonna make it like that's because that's what people like. You could be like Sacramento isn't a small city, but it's a small market, and it's like that. It's like Utah is a small city, but like it can be a big market for basketball. So it's like people don't go to Utah because they it's boring. Most people that play basketball aren't into the outdoor nature, mountain hiking trails. That's just not the culture of basketball. It's not aligned with the sport. So that's why I think people don't go to Utah. That's
like
what I consider.
they got Donovan Mitchell, and a lot of people did not see Donovan Mitchell being like this good, like one of the best scorers in the league. And they drafted him. They kind of got lucky, but no one go the same with even with Gordon Hayward when he was with the Jazz. He was good when he was there. They drafted him, but no one goes to Utah. No one goes to the Bucks. The Bucks, we all know, got real lucky with Giannis, and they had to
Yeah.
make trades. Traded for Chris Middleton, traded for Drew Holiday, traded for Brooke Lopez, traded for Bobby Portis. They actually Pat Connaughton is actually not. He's not bad. He's pretty decent. But they signed him free agency, but he's not like a big name, superstar. And Dante DiVincenzo, he was decent for them. DiVincenzo was decent. They drafted him.
Yeah,
Like
they
that's just
drafted him.
how it works with small markets. You just gotta basically just get good. You just gotta
You,
get lucky. Honestly,
you, yeah, you sound like they gotta get lucky. Okay, so like for me, I think with like small markets, I think they have to. I think they have to sell themselves better. I don't know if they're selling themselves correctly. Like the Mavericks are in Dallas. Dallas is no small city. Dallas is no. Is Dallas a small market?
no, it's Texas.
I mean, like, so it's like these small markets have to places like that. They have to sell the culture. They have to sell the game of basketball. Like the Pacers are this is just I'm currently in Indianapolis. Like this is sort of a big city. This is a big city in the Midwest, and this is a big. It's a big basketball. This is a big basketball place. Like from AAU to high school to college to football. Like the Midwest is big on sports here, and it's like the culture. Like when players come to the Pacers have a winning culture. Like unlike so you can take like Tyrese. Tyrese came from the Kings. It may be like big market, small market. You're still trying to figure out which one, but like the Kings don't have a culture. They don't. They're not winners.
That's
The
true.
Pacers are a small market, but they have a culture of, even though we haven't won the ring or a chip, we're winners, and that's the culture. So I think when you get like these small market teams, like the Magic don't have a culture. The What's another small market team? Oklahoma. Oklahoma doesn't have a
Oklahoma.
culture outside of just being a loud arena, a big support. We love you regardless if you're good or bad. They don't have a culture. They don't have a winning culture. So it's like you need to get players that need to like if you want to sell this to these players, you need to get these players like to like really sell yourself. Because like when I think of like the Heat, Pat Riley, like the Heat is like even when you down there in Miami, it's a lot of fun, but it's like they put the game, they put their job first. You're not gonna get down here and just drink and go outside and party. It's hey, you gotta eat this. You gotta weigh in like that's they tie in the job to like hey this funness you down here to work too. And I think a lot of these small towns like if they really want to like think about it, if this is their passion, this is their job, why don't you sell people? Why don't you try to sell people on that? Like, hey, like first of all, you need to change the culture to the management, to the teams, the offices, and you need to really just get players to say like, hey, you're here for basketball. Like we're winners. We can build that. We can make you better. We can create that. And I don't know. I don't even know if teams can even do that, and because it kind of relate back to the second topic as well, because
Do
it just
what?
feels well because the second we want to talk about how players and their role with management and how much power they have, should they have as much. And I think that like these small markets, they don't want to step on toes. They don't want to say things that may scare people from going there because they're already worried about it. Like the Wizards. The Wizards, is that a small market?
It's not. It's not a small
DC,
market, honestly.
DC,
It's
that's
DC.
that's money. And it's like who went there when it was John Wall, Bradley Beal, what was it, Marshawn Gatant, Nene, what was the other dude? When they were
Uh,
good.
honestly, no one really went there. No one, no
No,
one, no real good player went there. Honestly,
and
they all draft. Honestly, they all drafted them players. I think Marquise Morris was there. I think they traded for him. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think they traded for him. But
because I think he got drafted by the Suns, didn't he?
he got drafted. Yeah, he got drafted by Suns. So I think they traded for him. I think not
But
100%.
what is the Wizards culture besides overpaying players? What's the Wizards culture?
Oh no, they just go in there. They just try. They really just trying to sell tickets. They just
That's
trying to sell
that's
tickets.
That's what I think. I think like these small markets, they don't put themselves out there as like this is like we may not be winners now, but it's in us. We will develop and get better. We will. It's like when you go to Miami, what you think? You like man, you going there because man we're gonna win. Cause Spo is one of the best in the games. Pat Riley's gonna do what he do, and they gonna hold you accountable. You're not going down there to have fun and to just be on the beach. You going there to
But
win and be a better player.
but honestly, if we think about it, they own not really a lot of free agents from Miami with there besides LeBron and Chris Bosh, and that's only because D Wade was there. I guarantee you, if Wade was there, they honestly probably don't go. I think LeBron and them don't go. I think so.
If Wade wasn't
Because
there,
besides Jimmy, no one else really like super went there. The only other decent free agent that went there
Victor Oladipo,
was Kyle Lowry.
Kyle
And I
Lowry,
guess you could say Ray Allen, even though he was way past his prime, but he only went there because the big three was
Jason
there.
Manning.
If it was like if they not there and they recruit him, he probably don't go. He probably
But
don't go.
but you know why I think of like Miami though is like one of those spots because it's like when you hear about free agents, Miami is always one of those places like they got a shot. They got a shot.
They do always got, and it's Florida, bro. Why would you want to live in Florida? It's a good team, and you're living in Florida. Why not?
But then you hear like the Mavericks, they always put they. It's like, oh yeah, the Mavericks. It's like what?
They
They're
never
not.
get
They're like
nobody, bro. They
you're not.
never get nobody. They never get
You're
nobody.
not
I don't
going
know
to
why
you.
they don't. Honestly, I don't know why they don't get nobody. I don't know why the Mavericks get absolutely nobody. They be having a lot of cap space, but somehow they don't get like the raw free agents to go there.
And they got Mark Cuban.
They
Mark Cuban love basketball too. So like, what's going
Their
on with
best
that?
free agent pickup was what's his name? JaVale McGee. Nothing against him. He's decent, but
It's JaVale McGee is good.
yeah.
Like he's a great basketball player, but it's the city of Dallas, and as talented as they are, JaVale McGee is like one of the other pieces that like, okay, we can get there. We need somebody that can come in and do this. You know, he finalizes it, not put you over the top. You're supposed to like if Jimmy Butler would have went there, that would have been
Oh
game
man, they
changing for
they they
Dallas.
would have been they would have been dangerous. I ain't gonna cap.
That would have been
They,
game changing.
or Bradley Beal or something if he would have asked for a trade there. But those markets are like I said. I just said trade. He probably
Those,
doesn't go there free willingly.
you know why people go to the Lakers?
Why,
I think people go there because of the culture, how much the fan base they
bro?
love
But
you,
the Lakers
regardless if
honestly
they're
haven't
bad.
been good in a minute though. Same
Because
with
of
the Knicks.
LeBron.
Same with the Knicks. Knicks, nobody go, bro. We talked about this off air last week. We said the best free agent that free willingly went to the Knicks, basically since I started watching basketball, was Stoudemire, bro, and that was in what 2010, 2011, bro.
Yeah,
That's 11 years ago. That's a
man.
long time. I don't
See
count
that.
Melo. He got traded there, so I don't count that.
See, this is my thing, man. I think players aren't. I don't know, man. I never talk to players and stuff. But I never talk to players in the NBA about something like that. You know, I'm just always starstruck. But I feel like players aren't going to places like that because they don't have the tone that they want to set winning cultures. They don't put people around the players that hold them accountable, that want more for them. And the players are just gonna. I'm gonna go somewhere where I can get a bag, where I can get an endorsement, where the fan base good. They gonna love me regardless. If you go to LA, they gonna love you until you suck. If you go to Chicago, they gonna love you even if you suck.
Hey,
They
Chicago, low key, Chicago, a big market. They don't really get big free agents like that. If we
man,
being
that's
honest.
that's you know why. You know because Chicago, the management just changed that culture. They didn't care about winning. They knew they were
Hey,
just
I
they.
did see somebody like they said they don't go to Chicago because it'd be freezing. I think Stephen A. Smith said that it'd be cold down there, and
It'd be
I think
cold
that do play a factor to the extent like, bro, nobody wants to live in the cold, bro. Nobody
because a
wants
lot
to.
of these players are coming. They want to go back to where they grew. They're from the West Coast. That you know what I'm saying. Like they want to be
Or
somewhere the
the
West Coast to
South.
the South. They want to be where it's warm. But I think though like Chicago like didn't really care too much about after that like that Derrick Rose. They spent like the Bulls were bad way longer than they should have been. They were bad for a long time. They didn't care about who the coach was. They didn't care about the players. It was like when they got Zach Levine, went after Billy Donovan, then they started making real moves. Like they got good out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
And they had cap space. If you got cap space to get people like DeMar DeRozan, you got cap space to at least trade for Vucevic and absorb his because he signed a big contract when he was with the Magic. Absorb that. Then you got the pieces. You signed Lonzo, 4 years. You got cap space, so now you can. And then you got the. They see like players see okay, the Bulls okay, they have Zach Levine. He's an all star. Vucevic, one of the best centers in the league. If me like DeMar DeRozan goes there, we could do something special. Lonzo do something special. They got Patrick Williams, and we got Alex Caruso coming off the bench. They like okay, Chicago. I can deal with the cold for the next what 8 months.
Yeah, yeah, just 8 months out of
Now
the year.
for the season, 8 months. I can deal with that for the next for like the next 3-4 years.
I don't know, man. Honestly, the way I'm just thinking about it, I probably could imagine somebody like, oh, it's not that simple. Oh, it's way more complicated. You can't just it's hard changing a culture, players. Because you can, I guess you kind of need a little bit of luck, like you said. You need a little bit of drafting. You need a little bit of like good relationship for players that want to go there. And you still
You
need
do.
trades to happen. You still need people that want to, like, because you get a lot of players they don't want to go there. They'll force their hand in other ways not to go there. Like what was it? Gordon Dragic. I thought he was supposed to go to the Mavericks. How did he end up with the Bulls?
I don't know. That was so random. Cause him and Luka Doncic, they from the same country and they play on the same national team, and somehow he went to the Bulls. I don't
Yeah,
know. Honestly, that was so random. That was literally out of left field. I didn't even see that coming. And it's like they already got like 4 point guards on the team. So what is the point of? I don't get that. I don't get that signing.
but I think the way Dragic, because the Bulls, they didn't beat any good teams at all.
They didn't. They
They
was
were like
terrible against the good teams. They were
0 and
bad. I don't even
16,
know the
0
record.
and 8,
Oh, like against top 3 teams in each
0 and
conference.
8,
Like the top 3, they couldn't beat no good teams. Couldn't beat no good teams.
and bounced in the first round. So Dragic, I think Dragic, just by the way like he carry himself and is like a player athlete, I think he does change that a little bit. I think even DeMar and Zach, I think they changed that a little bit. I think Dragic, I think he's gonna bring a little bit of fire, more leadership role to spark them up to do something about that. I don't know how big it'll be on court, but I think his off court just game, locker room presence is something of a winning atmosphere. He's not a loser. He does
He's
not
not.
enjoy losing.
He
Yeah.
was on the Heat for like 5 6 years.
Yeah, he was one of their better players too for one
He
of
was
their
one of their
playoff
best
games.
players. He was one of
Yeah,
their best players. He was
yeah,
definitely one of their
yeah.
best players. He made an All Star team with them. He was
Mhm.
one of their best players. But the thing is, like with the Knicks, bro, the Knicks is New York is the biggest city in America, but somehow, some way, they get nobody good to come there. Nobody.
You
I
know,
I don't get that. But a lot of them always talk about their owner is bad. But I heard Stephen A. Smith say like he was like he don't do nothing with the New York Rangers, the hockey team, but he always messes something up with the basketball team. I don't know why he do that, but he do that. That's what Stephen A. Smith said like some months ago though.
maybe he loved basketball. He try to treat it like a fantasy league and you do too much. See the I don't know, these are rich people. They do usually see the bigger, longer picture. But I
Cause
don't know.
Knicks been bad, bro. Like they should not be bad, bro. You're one
Well,
of the top. You're one of the top most known teams. Forget America in the world, and you're bad every year. Basically, you're bad every year.
it kind of sounds like it's not like small markets. It's like it's the given for them. They're gonna suck at getting like bigger superstar players. But it kind of sounds like even you could be a big market and still have a hard time getting like a superstar player. Because like let's say Kawhi, it didn't matter how many people pitched it. He was
You know
going to
what's
LA.
crazy? I I didn't mean to like cut you off, but it's
Go ahead, go ahead.
crazy. The Clippers are low key a big market. They in LA, but they really a small market. No one goes there.
Because that's a LA
What's
city, man. That's a LA
But no one
city.
goes. But no one, bro. Kawhi is really the only player that willingly went there. No, I haven't known no raw player besides him go there. And he only went there because he didn't want to play with LeBron. He wants to go up against LeBron because he could have
So,
teamed up with him. Could have teamed up with him.
but you know the history of the Clippers though, why that team like why they were so bad so long, all the jokes. Because like the team had no real practice facility. They were practicing at a regular gym that anybody could have got
Oh,
a
that's sad.
membership. Anybody in the city,
LA
it was like
Fitness.
a
It
yeah, it was like a
LA
yeah, exactly. It was like, they're like, what the hell, what the Clippers doing here? And it was like they didn't have a practice facility. It was a regular gym, and it just wasn't. It didn't seem like a real NBA team, and they didn't have players that were good either. It was just like they were just laxy daisy about it. But it's like I don't know. Why did Kawhi go to the Clippers? I mean, the new owner. They want to change things, the branding, the timing, going back home. He knew he'd have some sway and control higher as a player with the organization. Players like going to that's what it is. Players like going to organizations where they're more than just a player, where they have a say so in management.
And that's the player empowerment. Kawhi Leonard told them, he was like, look, I'm going to go to the Lakers, but you have to go trade for Paul George. And they said, say less. And what did they do? They traded Shea Gilchrist, Gallinari, and a whole bunch of picks and got that man, and he went right to the Clippers. He wanted to go back to LA, but it's like he really wanted to go to the Clippers so he can have his own team because I feel like if he goes there with LeBron and AD, he low key gets no type of power. I feel like he gets no power like LeBron does because LeBron
Okay.
basically has all the power. And with the player empowerment, I think they should have some, but not basically controlling the whole organization. I feel like they should have like if the owner or if the GM asks, hey, we should get Patrick Beverly, and they say, okay, yeah, that'd be decent. But then like with Westbrook, he said, go get Westbrook, go get him. And what did they do? Because they said they had a deal for DeMar DeRozan in place, but he was like, no, go get Westbrook, go get Westbrook. And a year later, look where we are.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you. I I think like when you say they should have some power, I think they should have a good say so. But I don't think they should be trying to be not like when it's just like when you're a player. Yeah, you're good, you great, you know who you want to play with, and you like go after these talents. We can make it work. But all of the times, it's like I kind of like how Pat Riley do it. Like it's like you have a respectable say so, but you have to let these people do their job, man. You have to see the bigger. They still have to protect the organization. It's not about just winning, winning, winning right here, right now. Because like you can look at the Lakers, like that didn't it does not work.
It didn't
The
fit.
GM it just doesn't work. I think a lot of those teams LeBron put together never worked. I think he's just so amazing that he was
Are
just
you
able
talking
to
about the
drag
Lakers
them
teams, or
along.
are you talking about all the teams he put together? Because the teams with the
Most of the
Heat were
teams
good.
he didn't put that team together. He had respectable
I
say
think
so. That was Pat
okay, I
Riley.
agree with that. I think he said, "Hey, we should go after like Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, and Pat Riley's like, he was a head coach. Some of these GMs haven't played or coached, and Pat Riley, I don't know if he played in the NBA. I really don't know, but he coached the Lakers with Magic, so he knew. He was like, we got LeBron James. LeBron needs shooters. He go get LeBron. He goes get Ray Allen. He's like, and then Pat Riley probably thinking like, let's go get Mike Miller too. Let's go get Rashard Lewis. I think he might have not asked LeBron about them, but he probably was like, hey, no, I think he did go to LeBron and say, hey, I think we are. I'm thinking about signing Mike Miller, Rashard Lewis, and them. And LeBron was probably like, okay, okay. And LeBron and Say was like, we'll make it
I
work. We'll
can't
make it
I
work.
can't see Pat Riley saying, "Hey, Brian, I'm thinking about adding these people." You,
Oh,
I can see I can
no,
see
I'm
him. I
no,
can
I'm
see.
saying I'm saying he went to him and was like, we're probably gonna add
Add
this
them.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
probably add them. And LeBron was like, okay, cool.
I feel like hey, you think I know you think Brian sometimes get I don't know, they say he watched the game and know everybody tendencies and stuff. You think sometimes he get caught up with people highlights instead of just like who's like good? Because
Nah,
he went after like let's say Russell Westbrook instead of DeMar, Cal Lowry, or maybe Buddy Hield. Like
I think it's a
why is that?
combination of both.
Like he kind of
Because
get caught up with the
I think
highlights
I
and
I can't, and I think he did watch from afar because, bro, Westbrook is a good player. He just doesn't fit with LeBron. That's the problem. He doesn't fit with him. And DeMar DeRozan is a way better fit with LeBron. And he saw Westbrook, and like all these people keep saying, if I get injured, Westbrook got my back. If AD get injured, Westbrook got my back. It's gonna be at least him by himself and say we all get hurt, or at least two of us on the floor. And Westbrook or LeBron, or Westbrook and AD, they can hold the fort down. Because at the time, Westbrook was better than DeRozan. Nobody never said DeRozan was better than Westbrook. Never.
yeah. It's like Brian doesn't always understand what you really need to. It's like some we just don't know sometimes what we really need to help us. It's like you need shooters around you, Brian. You don't need an athletic point guard who's going for rebounds. You don't need that. Like Brian, you are the point guard. It's like Bron. You need like somebody that maybe slash and create a little bit of shot, take some off ball pressure, so you can rest and get away from it. Like sometimes it feels like Bron get caught up in the highlights, not realizing what he need around him. Because I think if he would have had Buddy Heed and DeMar, he didn't need Cal Lowry. Buddy Heed and DeMar, that works way better. Like who
That
you
does
just
work way better.
get some young guys, play some defense. Like you guys, second round, at least third round, conference finals at
But
least.
but he will never say it, but I will. He know AD get hurt all the time, bro. He know he get hurt. He know he get hurt. He know he get hurt. He know AD be getting hurt, and then
Man,
he know AD get hurt, and then he's been injured low key ever since he been to LA. Besides the championship year, and he probably thinking like, if we both get hurt, we're gonna be terrible. And that team probably is bad. If it's just like Buddy Hield and DeMar, and Buddy Hield really a role player. He's just a spot up shooter. He can't do nothing else but shoot. So it's really just
he's
DeMar
not a
and a
good
whole bunch of
defender either. He's not that good of a
he's
defender.
just DeMar and a bunch of role players. Boy, that team is basically bad like it was last year. And he's like, okay,
See,
if Russ plays, I know Russ can go out there and at least give me 20, probably 8 boards, 8 assists.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think it was because like we know for sure. Like this is like what you thinking. We sound like if we down bad and we got Russ out there, we know Russell Westbrook is a seasoned player. Russell Westbrook is a. If we think about it, he is the physical player embodiment of the Jazz. He's a seasoned player throughout the season. Juggernaut, great, going to be the best, probably number one seed. He's going to be the best player throughout the season, but playoffs and it's like you're thinking like if it's just Westbrook out there, he could get anybody. He could get anybody the ball. He's gonna win us games. But DeMar, I don't think people was realizing that like the way DeMar developed in San Antonio, how he made like his IQ and his buying in on defense, his shots and his he was a much better player than Westbrook. Like he was like if it was level like Westbrook didn't even make the All-Star. He was an All-Star. So it's like I don't think people saw what anybody would have ever seen like the effects of San Antonio would have made DeMar such a leader and he could carry any. I think DeMar on a bad team after his experience with the Spurs is he's a better season player than Westbrook could be carrying a bad team. You're gonna have a more successful season with DeMar leading your team versus Westbrook. I think with Westbrook towards the end when everybody catch on with the play style and catch up to it, yeah. But I think DeMar, the way he like plays and leads the team, you're gonna be more successful with him during the season because he's a leader. His IQ is amazing. The passing is just where that come from, and like he can shoot. He can shoot that ball when he inside that 3-point line. That man ain't missing.
DeMar is probably just playing like he was with the Spurs that last year he was there. It was really just him. DeJounte Murray was decent, but it was just him, DeJounte a little bit, and there's a bunch of role players, and he got them
Yeah,
to the play-in. The same with the Wizards. It was Westbrook, Bradley Beal, and just a bunch of role players in West. But Westbrook willed that team to the play-in because that team was bad. They was going through like COVID issues and a whole bunch of stuff. The team was bad. He willed that team, but I mean that's it though. I mean
but that was
it's
the
still the Wizards though. It's still the
but
Wizards at the end of the day.
see the details in it though is that like Demar built Demar team. They really weren't that good roster wise, and I think Dejounte wasn't playing back to backs that first season off the ACL, right? And Keldon Johnson was still pretty good, right?
Yeah,
And
he
they had
was.
LaMarcus here and there. So it was like that Spurs team wasn't as good, but that Wizards team, that was Bradley Beal. He was like I think he was in the top three. He's always when he most of it wasn't last year, but he's always in the top three going for the scoring title. I think he was averaging somewhere near like 29, 30 points towards the end of that season. So you still had like some star power going on right there. So it was like I think we were kind of deceived. Like it really should have been we should have seen DeMar's greatness coming versus Westbrook. Like, well, he was amazing, he was great, but it was like his offense was definitely on a decline, and it was Bradley Beal offense. his offensive scoring game, and Westbrook more like everything he do. That,
Dude, DeMar DeRozan on that same Lakers team, they're going through all the problems, injured. Are they making the play in?
yes,
They
yes,
make the play in.
they make the play in. They make the play in. They make the play in.
Do they get
I,
bounced in the first round though?
who the Lakers? Lakers didn't even make the. Did they
I
get that?
know they
Who?
would have. They would have probably.
The
Mm,
Suns.
yeah, it was the Suns,
But towards the end, everybody was healthy, so it would have been Bron, AD, Demar,
and
you,
everybody
you
else.
sent and everybody else.
But
So,
the
but
role
when
players was not good, bro. But that team just wasn't good. The team
wasn't
wasn't
good, man.
good. It just
I
wasn't
mean,
good.
that was a bad roster from the jump.
Yeah,
That
you
was a
said it
bad
from day
roster from
one,
the
man.
jump.
Me being a LeBron fan, I'm going. I'm like, man,
He gonna make it work.
I feel like it worked. I said, give it 10 games, man. I said, give it 10 games. And that did not
I
work.
think if you put Demar on that team, I think Melo plays better. I
Oh
think
yeah, I
that right
forgot
there
they
in
had
itself.
Melo, but Melo played no defense. His defense is terrible.
He
He
would have
gave
been,
you
he
15
still
points, huh?
Demar with the bench unit, Melo and them. I don't know. The Suns, they have some of the best role players, but I think Demar and Melo outplayed Mikael and what's the Cameron Johnson.
They should have just kept the team from the bubble championship. Honestly, that team was man. That Lakers team was cold. They was out there killing people, man. They was
Man,
destroying teams.
defense wins championships, they say.
They did. They had great defense. They was like number one, or they was like top 5 in the defense that year. They had a great defense. And then you had AD healthy, killing, and you had LeBron doing him. Well, that team was cold.
Hmm.
That team was cold. Nobody was beating them, honestly. I don't even think that even if Bam and Dragic healthy, they still don't beat the Lakers, honestly. They don't beat them.
You think what do you think about like Cal Kuzma and like how good he was able to play once he got away from LeBron versus Talon Horton Tucker? You think we're gonna see the same thing?
Oh, Taylor Horton Tucker, hey, he might be a decent fantasy pickup, no cap. Hey, you heard it here on episode 4. He might be a decent bro. When LeBron and AD didn't play, he was scoring the ball. He was the only person that could get his own shot. Honestly, and the Jazz have nobody. I have nobody. And speaking of that trade, I didn't like the trade. I didn't like it. Everybody's saying, it's a decent pickup. Patrick Beverly gives this defensive intensity. But the thing is, though, Patrick Beverly is decent. He's okay. But you gave up your 2 youngest players for Patrick Beverly.
It doesn't make sense on either side. The trade doesn't make sense on
It makes
either
sense for
side.
the Jazz because they're going rebuild and you get a young player. It makes sense for them.
Okay, this is what I mean for like it doesn't make sense because it's like Colin Horton Tucker next to Donovan Mitchell
Donovan
is
Mitchell ain't
like
being there, bro. He's gone. He's not going to
he's
be
not
there.
okay. He's okay.
He's going to be
That's
gone,
what
bro.
I'm saying. He has to be. He has to be gone because Tyler Horton Tucker is someone like there's no point for him being next to Donovan Mitchell. It just doesn't flow. It doesn't work. And it's like Patrick Beverly, like the role that he plays. What is he going to be? The backup point guard, like
Who, Taylor Horton Tucker?
next to Westbrook. No. I'm talking about like Patrick Beverly
If
because Patrick
Westbrook's
Beverly
still
plays.
there, Patrick Beverly coming off the bench.
I don't think they need to be on the same team. Just play styles. There's no way you're going to be letting Russ try. Russ is not going to transform his whole game like that over one
You
summer,
got to put
2
his pride to
summers.
the side.
That's not his game. It's like it's going to take years, more seasons for him to play like that. Like we just seen the decline of his athleticism. Did we see the decline of his athleticism, or did we just see him defer? He didn't even this is the
His
athleticism decline.
athleticism wasn't bad, but he was missing some layups. I think
Yeah,
that's why. I do think like him missing. I think he was kind of like nervous to an extent because he even said it. He was like y'all people keep saying I'm Westbrook, and all. He hears that stuff, and I think that got to his head a little bit. I do think that got to his head, and that's why he was missing like open layups. I mean, turning the ball over. I mean, he does that all the time. That ain't nothing.
so it's like I don't see like it's like icy hot. you got Westbrook as this athletic. He's still athletic. I think a lot of people, just like all of us as fans, we underestimate our reach. We sometimes think like, oh, they don't hear us. But you're right. They hear the rumbling. Westbrook. That shit affects people. Like if a bunch you get on the internet and you search your name, you like, damn, that's how they feel about me. You're gonna sweat. You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna play like it. They're not loving you in the city where you grew up. And it's like the icy hot is Patrick Beverly. His play style as a point guard versus Westbrook play style as a point guard. That's like almost two different teams.
But
That's like
but I don't think they're gonna be on the court at the same time though. That's the
but it's
thing.
like the bench unit, the like the bench, and then like you alternating them. I don't like how you gonna make that work? How you gonna
Well,
make
the
that
thing,
work?
but this the thing though. They actually, I think, say if they put them on the court together. Let's say it's Westbrook and Patrick Beverly, and then a bench unit. It
Oh, that's some
actually
bad
kind of
offense.
it. Well, but this the thing though. Westbrook would be able to do what he does best: have the ball in his hands, be able to drive, kick. And Patrick Beverly is a good shooter. He doesn't. It's not like he can't shoot. He can. He's a good shooter. So
Mhm.
it's not like he's just.
He's decent. He a decent
But
shooter.
he's. I know that's what I'm saying. He's decent, but he can at least drive it out, kick it to Patrick Beverly. You know that's it. So it's not bad. I just don't like how they gave up their young. They basically gave up their young assets for Patrick Beverly. You do that for a player like Donovan Mitchell or something, because that's like you just gave away your only young asset, basically. And I was
Who,
like, why
who
would you
else
do
was in
that?
that trade? Was it Austin Reeves,
It was
right?
Stanley Johnson. His offense
Stanley.
is terrible, but he was an okay defender
He was
though.
the defense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They signed him because of the defense, right? Yeah.
And then they gave him away. I just don't get it. And then people talking about these players ain't bad. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want Lonnie Walker. I think Lonnie Walker might be better because he's gonna like I know he played
Better
with
shooter.
DeJounte, but he's gonna be playing with LeBron. Like it's gonna be so different playing with LeBron instead of DeJounte, even
A,
though DeJounte
a
kind of
lot
do
of
the
good
same
looks.
thing. It's gonna be so different. And Descano Anderson, I don't know. I'm not
They
feeling that.
thinking he gonna be Jordan Poole. They think he gonna. That's what they hoping.
I don't know. I really
We
don't.
gotta see. We
Thomas
only got this
Bryant.
only.
Thomas Bryant is okay. He's a decent big, but he's so short though. He's like six. What like 6'9", 6'10", something like that. He ain't
You
even
know, a lot of
tall.
this was back. A lot of this was backed up because of just the whole. We just usually boom, free agency happened real fast and it gets slow. But since KD stayed, it's like a lot of things are back turning again. So it's like a lot of this is just their roster is going to be very different because it's August, but training camp is coming up soon. But it's like a lot of people that we think where they're going. Like I hope Patrick Beverly didn't get a lease. I know I hope he didn't because
In
he
Utah,
was.
I
I hope
doubt
I
it,
do. I hope he
bro. He
didn't find an
probably knew he
apartment yet.
wasn't gonna be there.
Yeah, because
He knew he wasn't gonna stay
when he
there,
left
bro.
that tweet out, he knew he wasn't staying there. He knew that okay, we
He
on the
said it
road
was
and
a
do this.
blessing that he got. He said it was a blessing. He got $13 million. I mean, I
Mhm.
ain't tripping either. I got $13 million from Timberwolves, and you flip me. I mean, that's kind of messed up that you flip me like that. But y'all paid me, so that's on y'all. So I ain't tripping. I don't know. Cause then I even went last night. I went right before I went to sleep. I was like, they traded for Patrick Beverly. They gave up that. I was like, I would at least sign for Dennis Schroeder. But then I was like, I don't know. I was like, Patrick Beverly might be better than Dennis Schroeder, no cap.
So you think I
Because
don't
you could
think
have got
Westbrook
Dennis
is gonna
Schroeder
be
for a
there.
cheaper price than having Patrick Beverly on your books for $13 million for a year. But I was like, Patrick Beverly is. I think he better than Dennis Schroeder. I had to go back on that when I last night.
I think with the trade before we get to the KD thing, I don't think Westbrook is gonna be there. I think a lot of
I
people are
don't think
saying like
so
they're gonna try
either.
to run it back and figure it out.
I don't
I
think
really
so.
don't think. I don't think
They
Westbrook is
they
gonna be
talking
there.
about that they want to that Russell Westbrook and Miles Turner, Buddy Hield trade. Ain't gonna cap. If somehow, some way they can get them two and put them on that same team, they back in business. They back in
Westbrook
business.
Westbrook is like a season. Like I don't care. Like Westbrook is a season ticket seller. If you get a chance to go see Westbrook play, you
You're
take
gonna
it.
see
You
him
buy the
play.
tickets. You
You're
go
gonna
see
go
him
see him.
play.
And the
Westbrook is a
Pacers,
fun player.
bro. If he goes on the Pacers,
They're
I
gonna
ain't
love
gonna.
him here.
I'm not gonna lie. You are kind of stunning the growth of Tyrese because they kind of don't fit. But you're in Indianapolis. You gotta sell tickets, and especially you're in a rebuild. You're gonna be in a rebuild for the next 3-4 years.
This is a
So
basketball state.
so
You got it. Yeah, this is a
so you need
basketball football
Westbrook
state.
to sell the tickets. Yeah, y'all gonna be bad. But actually, they keep saying he might ask for a buyout. But I don't know. I'm just going off of if he stays there. If he
You know
stays
what?
there, if he
No, go ahead,
stays
go ahead.
there, if he stays there, Pacers fans is definitely gonna go see him. It's just they're gonna go
I
see him.
they gonna see like because I seen the people they wear the Rush jerseys here. Like you see way more Colts jerseys here, but people love the Pacers here. Like there are just as many murals for the Pacers as it is for the football team. It's like this place. It's definitely a football state, but the basketball gets love. Like the AAU tournaments, they get love. The Pacers get love. I think Westbrook get loved everywhere. Like I think Lakers fans is just one of those. Like the Lakers is just one of those places. Like it's like the Knicks. You when you good, they love you. When you bad,
Nah,
it's
when
a
they
little
bad,
tough.
they still love them because that place still
Yeah,
gonna be packed.
and it's
I
Cali, man. A bunch of hippies over there.
I'm talking about New York, bro. Knicks been
Oh
bad forever,
yeah.
and they still be packed. They still be packed, and they still get nationally televised games, even though they bad. They still be on playing on Christmas. What team you know that's bad that play on Christmas? The Knicks.
Bing bong. Hey, so go ahead. Let me hear you talk about the whole KD, with them running it back and staying together. They even got Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal gonna be playing a huge part.
Hey,
Him,
I'm
Ben
actually,
Simmons.
I'm actually like low key pretty. I'm like, I like that they running back because now we're gonna see, bro, Katie, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons is coming back. I'm gonna try and draft him this fantasy, man. I don't care what nobody say.
I always
But
try to get him.
I
I got
always
him
try to
real
get
sugar.
Ben Simmons, man. He cold. Ben Simmons, bro. Ben Simmons roll like that. But having Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and KD, man, I even set the screenshot. I kept the screenshot. I was like, man, I think he might go to the Celtics. And you laughed at my thing. And I was like, now watch when he goes to the Celtics. I'm going to put it right back in his face. He talking about he coming back. I deleted the text. I deleted the text. I deleted the text. I kept the text message. I deleted it. I was like, all right, forget it. But I'm excited because that team is decent. I still think they need another big because Claxton too skinny. So he's just gonna get baby. He's gonna get baby. But they need another big. I don't even know who their backup big is.
See, that's the thing right now. I really think. I think they scheming. I think they scheming with something like because they let Andre grow. They let Andre go
He was too
because
slow. He too slow.
defense.
He too slow.
Yeah, defensively wasn't gonna be it. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna try to do that Draymond Green thing, with the small. I think the small five. I think we're seeing the end of
No,
that.
they're not doing that.
I think we're seeing the end of it. Like it lasted for like a good 5 years, but I think that the league is getting back to bigs, and I think they scheming. I think the Nets are really scheming for something right now. I think they scheming for a big. I don't know what they're gonna do because that team, that if that's just their flaw, think about it. They got shooters. They still got Seth Curry.
They
Still
got
got
Patty Mills.
still got
And
Patty
you getting
Mills.
Joe Harris off injury.
Like, and
And then they
you
got
not
TJ Warren. If TJ Warren could come back and do anything, decent person off the bench. And then you got Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal is just a 3-and-D guy.
a
That's all you
three
need him
and
to do.
his defense
And
and
you
his
got Cam
three.
Thomas. You still got Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas
Like
decent.
you asking for Joe Harris just to shoot threes, not do
That's
too
all you
much on
asking. Just
defense.
shoot threes,
That's
bro.
that's perfect. You're not asking him to be out there to try to be lateral or nothing. It's like this team, they got it. Like honestly, I would say they could do a package. They could flip Joe Harris, Patty Mills, and I would do Joe
They
Harris,
just
Patty
re-signed
Mills.
him back, so I don't think they could trade him. I don't think they
Hey,
can
they
because
gotta
he
wait
was
till
already on the
January
team.
9th. January 9th, right?
It's like December, like late December or something like
It may
that.
be like one of those, like a time frame, like you
It's
gotta
it's
wait. So
something. It's something. Yeah, but they gotta wait since they reached. But I don't know because he was already on the team, so I don't know if that counts since he resigned. I don't know.
hmm I could really see them going after somebody.
I
Now,
I had them
I
third in the conference in my standings. What I had them? I had Nets third, Brooklyn Nets third. Because I just figured if KD was staying, I was like they're gonna be third. They're gonna be third or second. They right there. That team cold. And then
I got the
Kyrie don't gotta handle the ball. Ben Simmons is gonna do all that. Ben Simmons is gonna handle the ball. So it's
Kyrie
just
can finally be a true scoring guard. Just
bro, we
finally,
saw it when James Harden was on there. Bro, that team
yeah.
was decent.
I got him at two. I had the Nets at two because I didn't see KD leaving. I didn't
I
think he
thought he
was leaving.
would. But they was
Yeah,
tripping. The Nets didn't want to trade him, so they was just, bro. The Nets probably got some good trades. They just told people no, just like how it is in fantasy. You be telling somebody no just because. That's what they
I think
probably did.
no, I think if KD would request that trade before we seen how much Rudy Gobert was worth, Gobert, I think that we probably would have saw a KD trade because Rudy Gobert trade was like, dang, that's what Rudy worth. It really like
I
it
don't think
made
he was
people,
worth all that. He was just way overpaid.
but it kind of like it made people like and we because like we just seen what Rudy moved for. We want like what KD got to move for then? Like what KD got to move for? I'm not gonna hold you. How you feel about Wendell Carter to the Nets? They don't need
When
him.
Wendell Carter,
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter Jr.,
Yeah,
the center for the Magic.
yeah,
If he was on the Nets,
yeah,
oh, that'd be decent. He's still kind of
yeah.
small though,
He is a little small, but I
but
think
he's
that
not a
work
real good defender though. He's
not
not
a real
really
good
that
defender.
good. I don't think so. I think he
I
kind
think
of
he's
like a
decent. He's
he's a little
average.
above Claxton. Claxton isn't really a defender either. He's just lanky. He's just a lot. He's basically the skinny version of Capella.
Oh, skinny rim protector.
He's
Capella
the
done
skinny.
for.
He's the skinny version of Capella. You just get him lines. He has no post game. Can't shoot free throws. He can't. He's just a lob. He's just a lob threat, but he can't do. He can't really do nothing. He's the skinny
You think
version of Clint Capella.
you think Capella? I don't think Capella would work on the Nets. That'd be what's the point of moving
Uh,
Andre Drummond?
well, it could. Well, Capella can run. Drummond can't run. You're not asking Drummond to do pick and roll and go up there and catch a oop. You're not doing. Capella can do that. He did it with Trae Young. Drummond don't do that. Capella, all he do is catch lobs.
We're
But with
gonna
Ben
see more
Simmons,
decline.
Ben Simmons gonna give him the ball. He's just like how he gave it to Joel. He's gonna give him the ball.
I don't know. I'm trying to see in the league. I'm trying to see like one of these bad teams. Like, what's a center? Actually, uh, Nick Nurse, Toronto. What's that guy?
Chris
Tall,
Boucher.
like Chris Boucher.
He's better because he shoots and he spreads the floor. But
As a big, he's nice. He's nice. Defense
he's
is solid. His,
decent.
his
He's
defense
decent.
is
You
solid.
had him on your fantasy team, right? For a
Mm-hmm.
minute. He's.
Whole season.
I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. He's a better version of Claxton. I'd definitely take him over Claxton just because he shoots better than him. That's really
I think
it.
that's what they're gonna. I think that's what they're gonna have to find. They're gonna have to find some like a Chris Boucher, like somebody like a casual fan doesn't know who that is. Like it's gonna have to be some center out there. Like oh they decent. Like we're gonna be like who is that? And they gonna get overhyped because they going on the team. It's like it's gonna have to be some third tier, low tier two type big that the Nets gonna use unless they gonna uh like if I look at the depth chart, who is their bigs? Who is their
I don't
bigs?
know. I don't know who's behind Claxton. I have no clue.
I don't
I
know
really
either.
don't know.
Like they have to do something. They have enough shooters to
They
let
have the
somebody go.
shooters. They have the
They,
shooters.
they have to make a trade or they have to pick somebody up. So let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry, guys. My laptop's a little bit slow, but it's loading in right now. So let's see who are the Nets in the Nets depth chart.
Cause I ain't hear none of them doing. And then sometimes they're gonna probably put KD at the five. Some lineups and Ben Simmons play the four. It's gonna be definitely. I could see like probably like Kyrie, Seth, Joe Harris, or like Royce O'Neal, T.J. Warren, then Ben Simmons at the four and KD at the five. I could definitely
So
see a lineup like that.
they still got LaMarcus Aldridge. I thought like he retired. Got
I don't
Clax.
think he on that team. He's still on there. Where are
He's
you
on the
at? On
roster.
NBA.com or something?
I'm on ESPN.
Nah, I
So
think
we
you just
got
got.
like
to I think you just gotta go to Google and just put in a depth chart.
we still got Blake Griffin,
He not on
uh,
there, bro. He's not on that
Da-
team no more.
Dayron Sharp. Yeah, this can't be it. So the depth chart just they clearly not updated. So yeah, they gotta get something. They gotta do something. They got a really deep. They got a lot of deep guards. They got really good shooters.
Yeah, they got a lot. Bro, Kyrie's an excellent shooter. Steph an excellent shooter. KD an excellent shooter. Bro, Ben Simmons got a whole bunch of players around him, bro. He set up to succeed. Skip Bayless said he liked the fit better than he said he like Ben Simmons fit better than James Harden. I ain't gonna lie, he might be right. He might be right. Because you're not gonna ask Ben Simmons to score. He doesn't have to do any. He's not gonna. You're not asking Ben Simmons to go out there and probably drop like 25 points. He's not gonna do that. I don't think he's never averaged 25 points because he can't even
You got
shoot.
a you
He,
got a point. I think you average like 20. You got a point guard that don't like to shoot next to people that want to take the shots.
Stephen A. Smith said. Stephen A. Smith said. He said. If you don't want to shoot, that means you can't shoot. Ben Simmons, I think he can shoot. This. Okay, let me. This is what I think. This is what I think. I think Ben Simmons can shoot, but it's not his strongest his attribute. So he in his head he's probably thinking, well, I can pass, I can rebound, I can play defense, I can slash, I'm fast, I can do all that. But since I'm not the greatest shooter, I don't need to use that. That's what I think he's probably thinking. I don't need to work on that. If I know that's not my strongest suit, why am I working on it? It's like with math, it's like, if you ain't good at math, you ain't gonna like take it serious to an extent. You just gonna be like, I mean, I ain't good at math, so oh well, it is what it is. If I get a D in it, I just get a D.
You avoid it. Like the
Yeah,
little bit
you
of math
avoiding
you
it.
know how to do, you do. Like I gotta keep up with my pen, my bills, my money. Like a
Yeah,
little bit I could do. I,
that's
I
what
I
I
think
think.
I think it's like that. I think Ben Simmons probably one of the more mentally solitude people versus what people think. I think you know how some people get talked into doing things they should. Like Westbrook got talked into trying to shoot, and he's not a shooter. I think he should have stuck to his game
Bro,
more.
but when he was on OKC, he was a decent shooter though. He was always hitting the mid range. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Probably
And
got
he
too
was an
stubborn.
okay free throw shooter. Now he's a terrible free throw shooter. I don't get what happened.
Might need some context or something, but
I
I
think
think
he
Ben
already
Simmons
wears
gone.
glasses. I think he already wears glasses. He just
I think that shit for fashion,
you think
man.
it's just for fashion.
Yeah. I think yeah, Ben Simmons don't. I think he called it like he don't try to let people. Nobody's gonna force him to do something he don't want to do. Like
Because
he gonna keep working
don't
on
you
his
remember
craft.
like last year or the year before when Doc Rivers was like, I told Ben Simmons I want him to shoot the ball more. He probably did tell him to shoot the ball more, but Ben Simmons was like, I'm not gonna shoot because that's not my best attribute. So why am I shooting if I know that's not my best attribute? But I think he
He
can shoot a little bit, just doesn't want to.
he probably told Doc, "This a players league. This a players league, brother. Like what's going on?
Same with the
That's
KD.
crazy.
KD had all that power, man.
It's a players league. And
It
that's
is
so
players
crazy
league.
to me. He traded away. Steph Curry is married to Doc Rivers' daughter. The league is so
It's
interrelated.
weird. It's weird.
It's
So he
crazy.
related to Austin Rivers. Steph
He
and
is.
Seth and Austin Rivers, they all
And
related.
Damian Lee.
Damian
They
Lee.
all and Damian they all family. It's like what the heck
He
is
on a
going
different
on?
team now. He not even on that team no more.
Thank
Is he?
God.
I think I
I,
think he I think he went somewhere. No, he's on the Suns. He's on the Suns.
Damian Lee, I don't know. He's never that. He's never been that good to me. I don't think so.
He's just a bench player, bro. He's just a bench player. He ain't gonna he might drop a couple of maybe 12s, here and there, but
He gonna have a game where he dropped 20 this season. He gonna have one of them breakout games.
what when there's a blowout?
Nah, he gonna have one this season. He gonna have one. 100%, I believe it.
He got a ring though. He got a free ring. He didn't do nothing.
They do something. Everybody earns a ring for a reason. Everybody earns a ring for it. That's what I do believe that if you able to make the team and stay out the whole season with the team, you did something like you the guy in practice
I think
doing that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that. But it's
yeah,
just
you
when
are.
it counts, you did nothing.
Uh, if I'm a season ticket holder, do I get a ring? You know how much those
No,
season tickets for the
I don't
Warriors
think
cost?
so.
Like those course seats? Those are
What,
like
like
thirty
ten
thousand
thousand?
dollars.
I was about to say
Those are
like
like
ten
thirty
thousand
thousand
dollars.
dollar tickets. They start at 20,000 for season
Hell no,
ticket
you don't
holders.
get
I
no
keep
ring. You just get a. You just
I
say
don't get a
what.
ring.
You get the
You,
T-shirt. You can buy the
you
T-shirt and the hat. You know they always show that commercial at the end of the finals, and they be like, your Warriors just won the 2022 championship. Here,
bro.
get the DVD and the
Just three
hat.
ticket holders are paying somebody's salary. Like that's somebody. That's like how many people? I mean, how many people work for the team? Like what?
A whole bunch of
50,
people.
100, 120
100
people.
plus people. 100 plus people.
Man, you know how many season ticket holders that is?
But these people are
That's the salaries.
billionaires. These
Nah,
billionaires.
they don't be them people. Everybody not getting paid millions that work for the organization. You got people that work in the
No.
office
No,
probably
they would
getting
get
like
like
one
a
hundred
they
and fifty
get what
thousand.
they get 6 figures though. Like the people in the front
Yeah,
office, they get 6 figures.
yeah, they probably getting 6 figures. That's like 5 season ticket holders. Pay their salary. That's
But
it.
you know,
Boom.
but those people are white, so you know they got money.
Oh, brother.
They got money.
Oh, brother. Uh,
They got money though.
That very crazy. That very crazy. But I think honestly, this is what I will say though. Like more like towards my like final thoughts. Like I think since we seen the KD, we knew for sure they were gonna talk KD into like, hey, let us handle this. Let's do this. You're wishy washy. It's okay. Trust the process. Now that they talked him into it, KD is staying. I think now we're gonna start seeing some really like this coming up week. We're gonna start seeing some really crazy trades. Like training camp starts when. So
Late September,
people need to
mid
get that.
late September.
Like we're finna start. Like We're really finna start seeing some trades and some free agencies. Like this is the time.
Bro, but
Like
all
cause
the free agents are basically gone.
they all. I think we
They're
still got.
basically
I
all
think we got
gone,
longer to
honestly.
go.
All the good ones, at least. I think it was really just the trades. I think we're gonna see more trades. Like we're probably gonna see the Donovan Mitchell trade, not this week, but
Hmm.
the Knicks are gonna lower their asking price. They're asking for the moon, and it's like, bro, you asking for too much. Come on now, bro. You're asking for too much.
The Knicks.
Like, think about it, bro. Honestly, they kind of overpricing Donovan Mitchell, bro. All Donovan Mitchell does is score. That's all he does. He doesn't do nothing else. He doesn't pass the ball. He doesn't play really good defense. He's just a scorer. That's it. And he's small at that. He's like what, 6'2"?
He is the lesser
But it's just the
version
fact
of
that he's
Dwayne
young.
Wade.
I think it's because he's young.
He's 26 though, and I think
Yeah, he's not even really entering his prime yet. So he's still young. And I think that's why they kind of overpriced because it's like you're getting a young scoring guard.
I mean, like you said too, it's a small market. They got lucky drafting him too. They probably it's going to be a long time before they get that lucky again. Like, what's
Oh
the
man, it's
chances
gonna be
they
bad.
drafted a Donovan Mitchell again?
Well, if they get the top pick, they're gonna get that tall, skinny, lanky dude overseas. That dude's like 7'2". They say
You
he
better
kind of
hope
play
he
like
don't.
he played like KD kind of, but he's 7'2"
They
though.
say that about so many people. They say
I
that
mean,
about
that's
so
just
many
what
people.
they saying, man. This is what they say. His name, I forgot his name. It's Wana something. But that's what they say. But bro. They talk about asking for Fournier and down. No, now they talking about they might add for RJ Barrett.
It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen, bro. You guys know what y'all want to do. Y'all trying to get super weak because y'all don't want to have to give RJ. RJ is gonna give you at least 5 more wins than what you guys are gonna get,
They
and
should
that's
they
gonna
should
affect your
really keep
draft
RJ.
status.
They
The
should get
Knicks,
rid of Randall. Honestly,
I think
they
they're
should
not
get
gonna
rid
do
of.
it yet. I think they're not gonna do it this year. I
They're
think
gonna
they're
wait till
gonna
he get a little
probably
bit
wait
older.
until the off season, or at least to the next trade deadline.
He's 27 right now, so they can't. There's no point of offering him a big contract like that because it's gonna be towards that time in his like, it's just where he's like super.
Who,
He's
Donovan
like
Mitchell?
older.
But he has like
No,
3 years.
No, Julius Randle.
Oh,
Julius
Julius.
Randle.
Dang, Julius Randle
Like,
twins. Man, look 30 low key.
yeah, that's crazy. He's 1 year older than like Donovan Mitchell, but he's been in the league since like what
He been in
eight
the league
years
for a
now?
minute. He been in the league for a
Yeah,
minute.
because
He
he was
been in
with
the
that
league.
Lakers team.
Not I want to say maybe 7 years. I want
Yeah,
to
you
say.
gotta be you gotta be really careful right now offering Julius Randle money because it's gonna be like those last few years. It's gonna be hard moving him. Like, hopefully he has a bounce back year. But if he's like 32 and you still paying him like
They not gonna offer
37
him.
million a year,
He got a bounce back year though. If he played like I did last year and fell off, because I traded for him, man,
two
I did not get that
two of
Randall from
those
last year.
years in a row, oh my God, he can afford. He's not gonna have a second this year. He's gonna be good this year.
He better. You
Yeah.
drafting him? What is
Am
he?
I
What is
drafting him?
he? What is he? What round is he
Fifth
going
round.
in?
He's like a
Fifth
fifth,
round?
sixth round.
After the
Fifth,
bad
sixth
year
round.
last year?
After the bad year, you can't risk it. You can't risk drafting him now. You can't risk it. It's at the
Okay,
fifth
what if
round.
Donovan Mitchell goes there then? Then what? Because that's going to be some touches he ain't going to have no
Six,
more. He's going to lose a
sixth
lot of
round,
touches.
sixth round.
Man,
Because
I
you
ain't
got
going to
him. You got
lie.
Jalen Brunson, RJ, Donovan.
That's a lot of
I'm not
people that
touching
need the
this
ball in their
six.
hands, man. That is a lot of people. That's a lot of people that need that ball.
Yeah,
I don't know how
you
that
gotta go.
works.
That's
All right,
scary.
so
You want to say thank you guys for tuning in with us for talking about the topics. Now let us know in the comments where you drafting Julius Randle in your fantasy. Player empowerment. How can small markets do better? And drop your happy birthdays for Charles. Go ahead, Sharon. Take it away from here.
all right, y'all. Like he said, happy birthday to my brother Charles, man. Turning what, 26? Turned 26. So yeah, he's having a good old time. And yeah, drop a comment on what you think the Nets are gonna be with KD back. What you think the Lakers are gonna be with the addition of Patrick Beverly and how that's gonna work, and him and Westbrook are gonna be on the same team. And what do you think the Lakers are like? Where their draft, not draft, but their positioning is in the West? Where is that gonna be at? So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. We will be back next week for episode 5. Episode 5. It's crazy. We're on the 5th episode already. It's really crazy. But we will be back next week on Full Court Entertainment. Peace, guys.